Neon, they got rid of a lot of the mobility heroes that TNC is good with. You know, the PB, the Primal Beast, Queen of Pain, as well as the Marcy. TNC is best when they play highly mobile heroes. So taking that away, Neon's doing a pretty good job of that so far. Faceless Void? Oh, no, Faceless Void. Already Morphling is being picked. But what if it's the Faceless Void support? Come on, you can do. It happens. It can go. Why not?
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I think you're pretty happy if you're the Shadow Fiend, honestly. I mean, Invoker's like you need levels. The early levels you need to get more points in those orbs to get some decent stats on it. So I think if you're Shadow Fiend, you should be pretty comfortable with this match. But Invoker's not exactly an insane laner for Shadow Fiend to be worried about. And the Hoodwink comes out, so no Faceless Void 5 or 4 shenanigans, unfortunately. And it's Tusk. So is it core undying? Is it 3 undying with Tusk as a 4, Enchantress 5? I feel like it is, and I like that a lot.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that. I mean, assuming that, right? It could be a Tusk off lane and Undying is the main support. Like Dota has become so flexible over the years that you see Invoker and your first thought is that is it a support? Could be a support Invoker. Like that's the sort of state of the game where a lot of things are just very flexible. What is kind of without a doubt though is that Neon probably needs a carry. TNC probably needs an offlaner here to get rid of the Dawnbreaker. Neon, are you thinking of the Faceless Void? Because that's the usual the usual counter to that is a Dawnbreaker. See if they want to go for that or not. Pretty solid, honestly. Not bad lane stage. Great damage with the Hoodwink. I mean, she gives you a tree, right? I was just always like, that's all. Sometimes that's all he needs. Invoker as well works well. You do need that frontline guy. I don't think you want to build him in the Blink Tag way. I think you do it the Amar way. You know, where you get as much stats on the guy as possible. And oh, they heard you. Oh, Rob. Oh. Well, they still need something like that. They do need something like that for box, some sort of. I mean, I believe they need some sort of frontlining guy. And Mars is there. Dawnbreaker's gone. Death Prophet is also banned. What's left in the Bat Rider is also. I think Bat Rider's banned. Where is it? Mars? Ooh. There you go. You need a beefy guy in the front. That guy's pretty beefy right there. Now, who would they want to go with? They need to carry for Neon Fortune Soul, Bristleback. I mean, you're up against a break, so that's not great. Faceless Void could be an option, and they go with so it's gonna be the carry Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, pause one Shadow Fiend. Yeah, avatar mode on the Void Spirit. Pause one. So they flexed the Shadow Fiend off from the mid lane, put it into the safe lane.
Oh, it's gonna be off lane Enchantress, by the way. That's of all the heroes. If you'd ask me which one would have been the core, I'd be like Enchantress would have been the last one. You know, like that's not the one I would have expected to go in the offlane, but it is going to be Enchantress offlane, which with a few items, Enchantress can be quite durable. You already have the Undying as well as the Tusk. Shafin can do solid amount of damage for Fortune Soul. Interesting lineup coming out from Neon Esports in this one.
Yes. Yeah. No, I think this is still going to be a close game. You know. So Fortune Soul, he's going to be able to get some decent farm here as well. Void Spirit is hypermobile, so he shouldn't really be caught up for the Invoker. You know, even if he gets cold snapped, dissimulate into the Astral Step away from danger. Tusk, good frontliner, Enchantress with the heals. SC is going to be a pain in the ass up against Asta. So
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to kill him. Like top lane, Bach, like Hoodwink's pretty low health. Bach, even if you skewer him through the tower, a lot of times if you have enough decay stacks to drop a tombstone, you're kind of okay with that. For TNC, they have a really decent 4-man lineup. Lots of damage, good sustain coming out from the Chin as well. Good mix of damage. Like they have good heroes to make space for the Morphling. Invoker Chin could split push with their creeps if they absolutely have to. I like the draft from both. I believe this series is going to be 1-1. I'm feeling confident now, but I think I'm going to go with the boys in Neon again. You know, I think they're going to look at that. 3 wins in a row in Voice Spirit. I think he's going to make it 4 after this.
Okay. Well, we'll see. Because we're getting into the final game of the day. And I don't know. I still think the Morphling's way too strong.
I want a 60-minute slugfest. You know.
Okay, we're back. Yeah, we'll get ourselves just straight into the game. And that was a bit of an issue, but we do have a stand-in. So.
Yep. Do we know who the stand-in is, actually? It's, let's see, who do they have here? It's Fearlissa.
Fearlissa?
I think, Fear. I think I'm going to call him Fear from now on.
I don't think we can do that. I think there's already somebody called Fear.
Yeah, but that guy's not around anymore in the playing. I mean, besides, we can have 2 people. We had like Ice, and then we had Ice 3, then we had, I don't know, we had like a bunch of Ice people, didn't we? We can call 2 guys Fear, you know? That seems only fair to me.
Yeah, fair enough. But it is, so yeah, so Fear is a stand-in. So it's gonna be, also Neon have 0 pause time now. So if Neon pause, TNC are allowed to do straight on pause.
Which, I don't know if TNC would do that, you know? They've been they waited a long time for Neon. They seem like nice people.
I say they're allowed to. I think the admin will force an unpause because Neon have no pause time left.
Oh, that's true, right? It's like you're gonna have to do it, and what can TNC do? It's not. I mean, they've waited as much as patiently possible. This game is already quite behind schedule.
Oh, Bok, it's going to cost him his life, but he cliffs up SC. And, yeah, okay, so the cliff TC's starting already. 1-0 going the way of Neon. And SC just has to wait for the TP scroll to come off cooldown. Is there going to be anything to stop this TP, Carlo? Does he have a bushwhack or anything? He's not skilling it up yet. He's not bothered about it. It would have been great cancelling the TP as well, and then you just camp out because it's just going to be a level 1 courier. So you just camp it out, make sure the Undying can't leave the cliff. And
by the way, it's a very strong start for Neon. Not only does they get first, but they got 3 bounty runes as well.
Yeah, and Fortune Soul being able to pick up 2 of those as well as the first blood, so it is going to give him a really good start in this lane.
And by the way, the fact that SE was clipped and he has to use that's 100 mana. Sorry, that's a bunch of mana he has to use from the TP scroll. So now he's not really much resources as you'd like him to have.
No, he does have 5 mangoes though, so he's going to be able to pick up his mana this way. We're going to see the pull through SE. What's he going to try and do? Just has a couple of last hits. A couple of right clicks, excuse me, onto Carlo. And Carlo, yeah, Decay comes through as well, so he did consume one of those mangoes to get the spell off. Meanwhile, Bok, he's just going to be taking so much rage. Look at this. Fortune Soul picks up another kill. We're only a minute in, 2 kills already for Neon because of these raises coming through. And Bok, what's he got? Level 1. He went for the skewer. So he does have that mobility, but he just can't get away once the raises start to come out.
Yeah, this is kind of absurd. And my mid lane also going in favor of Neo. Avatar mode 9-1 to the 4-0 for the Invoker. Invoker, like I said, he needs levels before he really becomes a mid laner. Whereas other mid laners, they're ready to go from the start. And another thing is that melee versus range. Melee oftentimes has the advantage in terms of CSing the creeps. You know, there's less travel for your attack and animation, everything like that. Krish, he could harass him, but Avatar mode probably get the CS advantage.
Yeah, and Bok trying to do what he can to push SC away, but SC just keeps getting the pull through from the creeps. I think Carlo goes even deeper the skewer. He's trying to cliff him again. Bok couldn't actually land it this time. Meanwhile, the top lane, Enryu's going to be taking a lot of harass coming through, but Asta, he's still, I mean, you look at Issa as well, he's just getting in the face of Asta, and it's just turning into a bit of a brawl this last game here. You can see the Undying chasing SC chasing Bok down. Bok trying to move away from this, but again, SC, he has those mangoes, 3 left, so he's going to be able to get more decay stacks when he needs to use them. And Bok, he's just pulling the creeps through, trying to meet this between the tier 2 and the tier 3, but SC, I don't think he's going to give up on this.
Yeah, if he could get 1 or 2 denies, I think he'll be actually pretty happy. Bok, does he want to score him towards the tower? Look at that, 16 decay strength missing. So if he was level 2 with a soul rip, he might be able to just burst him down with one hit of the soul rip.
Yeah.
And yeah, he still gets a couple of these creeps back, and he's going to be okay. And Bok, he is feeling it, like he is feeling the pressure in this lane. And this is what Undying can do.
Yeah, and again, Fortune Soul being able to start off with 2 quick kills as well, so he's going to have a decent amount of gold. Carlo, can he get away from this? He's going to put the bushwhack out, but the tombstone's been dropped here. Carlo in the trees, the zombies are going to chase into this, and Carlo needs to move himself out, but it doesn't look like Fortune Soul wants to go any further onto this. SC taking some tower shots. Meanwhile, you can see the Magnus still trying to farm up what he can. He's going to be able to get himself to level 2.5. So he gets some farm out of that, but he's only got 2 last hits because he couldn't last hit. With all the decay stacks taking his strength away, all he could do was look for the experience and not the gold.
Yeah, oh, well, that's going to be the first death on our standard. Mavis gets a kill on the Tusk, but in general, I think it's not, it's not that bad. Playing with the standard is always going to be a bit rough here. But Bok with the 4 CS to the 18 and 10 on the Shadow Fiend. Very rough in the bottom lane.
Yeah, Bok's going to be going for the bracelet, looks like, extra survivability here. Does he just have to stick at a distance here? Maybe pick up another point into the skewer for the extra distance on that?
I think you're going to have to rely a lot on your Hoodwink to do some work for you. There are some stacks coming out for him. I assume it's for him because, if it's not for him, this guy's going to be really fed to the wolves. So, you hold on as much as you can. You take the stack later, and you're going to be generally okay. This is what Undying is best at. So it's not like TNC is like, oh my god, this has never happened to us before. This is pretty much, not to this degree maybe, but this is fairly expected.
Yeah.
The 2 points in Shockwave also help him farm quite a bit.
And top lane, Asta again going to be taking some punishment coming out. Issa with the tag team, 1 point into the ice shards as well. Doesn't want to throw that out, and I think no, Asta was fine. He did still have some more agility he could have morphed out of, but. Yeah, at this point, the bully's coming through from Henry. He's got 2 points into the impetus, and once that hits level 4, he's got 0 cooldown on that. It's just going to be able to throw it out for every right click. It's really going to get hard for Asta to sit in this lane. Look at the damage coming out because he doesn't want to be sitting on a massive health pool either.
Yeah, it's that tough thing, right? We talked about it's like, oh great, do I have high health and no damage? I can't CS, or do I have? He's going to have to do this the entire game. There's just nothing for him else for him to do, except deal with the situation. Basically,
yeah.
Mavis is there though. Maybe he's helping out as much as he can, and CS is not too bad for Asta. 22 and 5, still decent.
Yeah, Bok and Carlo chasing SC around the trees. Fortune Soul was close to getting another kill onto Bok. In fact, if he gets the razors off here now as well, going to be dragged in, but Bok, he just moves himself. As soon as he threw out the shockwave, he was already moving away. But yeah, it looks like Fortune Soul, he's more bothered about farming up onto heroes than he is farming up onto creeps, because 4 heroes are just leaving the creeps to push against each other. He gets himself another kill.
Oh god! He doesn't even go for the bounce, and unfortunately just goes up, just hits him with the long range shadow rays and gets the kill. Mid lane.
Oh, they get a double bushwhack onto this. A snowball, it went in deep. They might be able to take down Avatar mode. He's got the dissimulate. Can they do anything about this now as well? Issa needs to move himself away. The tombstone has been dropped, so it's going to be able to summon zombies and slow them down. But Issa, he still needs to be running away from Carlo. Carlo has that bushwhack up in the next couple of seconds. Does he want to throw it out? Maybe do some more damage? He is. And with Critch, does he have the damage for the kill there as well? The nut shot, but the right click, it is going to be enough.
Yeah, good job with taking that haste run, and just really well played here by TNC. They need to do well in the mid lane, right? Invoker, he scales pretty well, but he did have a bit of a rough start, but now he's just fully caught up with the avatar modes. Krish is going to go for the first item, Witchblade. Not opting for that Midas, just wants to be as active as he can for his team.
Yeah, he's already got himself the urn as well, so this is like a standard build for the Invoker. Like you say, he wants to get active as soon as possible. Cold Snap into the Tornado, into a Bushwhack. They might be able to take down... Is he going to be able to get the kill? Snowball, it's going to be a quick one here now as well. Dissimulate comes out in Avatar mode. The right click, it still connects, and Critch gets the kill.
Yeah, there's nothing you could have done there. With the urn, you can't Yeah, he's already out of strength treads. Can't use the bottle, and this is pretty tough, man. Avatar mode losing his life. He's level 6. He should be trying to he should be making space for his team right now, but he is suffering this mid lane. Very unfortunate for them. The best news for Neon though is that he doesn't have a game. He's 14 CS right now in almost 8 minutes. He just does not have a game at the moment. In terms of net worth though, he's behind Carlo, the position 4 support.
Yeah, what they're going to be able to do is a little bit of damage here to the Shadow Fiend, taking all of his mana, Fortune Soul. This is going to be a 3 kill streak that he gives away here now as well. One more right click from anybody. Bridge does get low. He's going to be able to go into the Ghost Walk. The Scurry comes out from Carlo. Carlo, what's he going to be able to do? Rotation comes in from Avatar mode. In fact, he gets the kill as well. Sentry down behind the creep waves, behind the neutral creep, sees the Ghost Walk away. And really good grab though. So Avatar mode coming in, doing some massive impact after the Shadow Fiend goes down.
So very clutch, well played by him. I mean, yes, they lose Fortune Soul, but you're gonna be like, it's okay. You know, yes, it's our carry dying, but we're able to get 2 people, including probably the most important hero that we can shut down the enemy team, which is the Invoker. Not that he's shut down by any stretch of their imagination, but it is important that they get that kill on him. He's going top though, and Ryu might be in trouble here.
Yeah, Asta maybe baiting him, but the Bushwhack into the EMP comes out, and Enryu, he has the point into the Nature's Attendants. So he is going to be healing up a little bit, but is it going to be enough? Not with the body blocks coming out from Asta now as well. Uses the Furry Fire Tornado, going to cancel the TP, and Enryu is going to be blocked in. 3 heroes chasing him down. They want to take down Bambi, and Carlo's going to be the one that slays him with the crossbow.
Well, Enryu, I mean, I guess Space Maid, that's something Carlo's really farmed. Like, this Hoodwink is massive, and even Chen is doing pretty well. Mavis, he's got like a lot of farm. He's going to get his mech up within a couple of minutes, it seems like. So Neon, I mean, I'm not quite sure what the plan is with this draft. You know, you do want to play fast, but you just have a slightly better spot. Oh, Bok.
Yeah, Bok tries to get himself away with the skewer. Avatar just catches up with the Astral Step, drops a Remnant, and he'd get it. It does mean there was a 4-hero rotation here from the side of Neon to get that kill onto Bok, and Bok not really giving up a lot of gold. But it was still, you know, a rotation, a kill. Creates a little bit of space here for the Shadow Fiend. They might even be able to get the tier 1 tower out of this with the creep wave. Good push in here and a good amount of damage.
Mid lane, Avatar was here by himself defending this tower, scaring them off a little bit. So that is just enough for them to be like, okay, or potentially like, we don't want to go for this anymore. They do get the bomb tower for Neon, so pretty solid moves coming out from them right now.
Oh, Mavis, look at this. The impetus damage coming through. It's level 4 onto this. One more right click. If he can get in range, there's going to be the slow. Mavis trying to do what he can with the Seeds of Serenity, but he still gets taken down. And Ryu picks up the kill.
Chances, she's going to go for Witchblade. Like, dude, everyone's going for Witchblade these days. Like, but it's pretty damn good on the Enchantress, of course. And Asta is taking some pain as well, but like every time he takes one, just goes a bit more strength. So it's annoying, but he's playing it pretty well so far.
And he has the Morbid Mask here as well, so he is going to be able to heal himself up with the lifesteal. You know, he can move himself into the jungle, doesn't need to sit on that lane anymore. He can look to regen up. Oh, do they have the kill onto Avatar mode? The sharpshooter dissimulates through it.
And the Bushwhack didn't land either. Did he eat it? I'm not quite sure, but either way, he was able to dodge the effects. I think it was just a little too far.
Okay, Shadow Fiend not contesting onto Bok. So giving Bok some space. If we take a look at the net worth here, he's on 3k. The Bushwhack comes out to the Shadow Fiend now as well. Do they have enough to take him down? Cold Snap as well. The right clicks. There's going to be the rotations coming through from the creeps. But Snowball onto the Invoker. Do they have enough to take him down? Ice Shards. He's not going to be able to get himself out of this one. Tries to go for the TP, but Enryu, with the damage coming through from the 4 points into the Impetus. Way too much damage on the Invoker there for him to get out.
Yeah, TNC is in recovery mode right now. I mean, like you said, Bok is all the way in the bottom lane, being left by himself. He absolutely needs this farm. You're not going to be doing much with Asta on the Morph lane early game because that's just not how the hero is built. Fortune Soul shows up, so at that point, TNC is fighting 5 versus 3. Unfortunately for them, but they might still be wanting to defend this tower here. Ooh, that's going to be a lot of damage. Just not enough.
That sharpshooter, if it had waited, okay, if it had waited 1 more second, maybe the dissimulate comes out from the Void Spirit, but if it had got half a second off on the charge time there from the sharpshooter, Avatar would have gone down. It would have been more than enough damage to get the kill. I think it was 3.5 seconds on the charge time, not the full 5.
No, I mean, either way, it's like it was a tough kill. And just scaring them off the tower, keeping it alive, I think that's a pretty big win for TNC right now. Neon, though, Fortune Soul is big. He's strong. He's got Mask of Madness. He's going all in on this right click. You know, Dragon Lance, Mask of Madness. He's got the Power Treads. What's he going to go for next? He has items coming on. Nothing crazy. Is he going to go for BKB? It's tough. Oh, SE.
We're going to go into the mid lane here. Yeah, Undyne will be taken down. Crit gets the kill. Avatar mode came in onto this. But I think he drops the Remnant. He just wants to keep himself alive and protected. Mavis on the back line here now as well. He might rotate in. Two Centaurs and a clap from the Tomato.
Asta's getting this big stack, but he's sharing all this experience with Tusk, which he doesn't want to do.
No, and Issa, if he's got the Walrus Punch, you know, he's like you say, he's forcing away. But back in the mid lane, they do get the kill into Avatar mode. Will be able to pick up this tier 1 tower now as well.
And this is, I mean, TNC, their draft, they're good at fighting at this point. Yeah, they don't have the Morphling, but they at least have this big body in Bog. Did they spot out this? I think they did see this stack that they can take. Oh, is he going to be able to get a kill here on the Tusk for the Hoodwink?
He just point blank sharpshooters. That was a full one because of the stuns, but he still gets it off. And now the Centaur's getting the stomp off onto Shadow Fiend, but it looks like Carlo. Ooh, the stick, the one, it keeps him alive. The impetus, it might have been enough damage. If not for that, the chase down the Bushwhack onto the Summoner. So it means there's not going to be anything to catch onto this. No skeletons to chase down onto the squirrel thing.
The squirrel.
It's like it's mixed between a squirrel and a red panda and a fox, and I'm not actually sure what Hoodwink is.
I mean, she's kind of cute. I think is that fair? Can we say she's cute, or is that like no?
It's just a furry Wind Ranger, isn't it?
I mean, she's kind of like Robin. I guess. Well, Krish, he seems to be chasing after Avatar mode, but I don't think he's gonna go for much more than that. Wants to get the Boots of Travel just so he can show up anywhere on the map to get kills for his team. Like this choice. I like that the way they're playing. Bach is going to go for this fast Blink Dagger. No Wraith Pack shenanigans on Magnus or anything. Just straight up Blink Dagger. I just want to be able to land a good RP for my team.
Yeah, and that's kind of what, because I mean, he got shut down 2, 4, and 3 in this game, 14 minutes in so far. So, yeah, that's kind of what you have to be. You have to be the big utility, the big spell that sets up the fight for TNC, and then you can go back for more items afterwards. But if you'd have let this Blink Dagger go for any longer, I think it would have been a lot harder for TNC to get back into this game.
But you know, when he's got more farm than Enryu. Oh, here we go, mid lane.
Critch, does he get himself away from this one? No, the Walrus Punch, he's going to be able to get the kill, and Enryu picks it up. Now, though, they get the Shockwave off onto Tusk. The Sharpshooter comes through.
Oh.
Doesn't get the kill.
Dude, when he skewers him, he puts him next to him, even though I guess he thought that he'd stay where he is, but when you skewer, you put the person in front of Magnus. So unfortunately, he actually saved his life by moving him a bit to the side. Carlo's like, dude, don't move him when I'm aiming. Unfortunately, but that was a bit out of an awkward situation to be in. It's not a mistake that I can imagine happens so often that you can avoid it. You know, you don't really think about it that much.
There is, I mean, look at this. Morphlin's just trying to farm up in the enemy jungle in that bottom lane, but Enryu's going to be challenged on. Soul Rip trying to keep him alive. There's going to be another Sharpshooter coming through. The RP, but the Snowball's going to be there. Do they have enough? He's going to be able to aim it in range. It goes through because of the Tornado. And now the Walrus Punch comes back as well. The Hand of God, but Critch is still going to go down. And it looks like, did he get enough chase down onto Bok? Ooh, there's going to be another Bushwhack, but it's still going to be a kill onto Carlo. And the chase onto Bok now as well. Bok just needs to run his little piggy legs away. There
is quite a lot of miscommunication coming out from TNC. Firstly, the RP while Tusk was in Snowball, it looks like Bok's gonna lose his life, which means that Tusk was just able to grab Enryu. It's like, oh yeah, he's just RP'd. I'll just put it in my Snowball. Then the Tornado comes out while Carlos is loading up her crossbow. So that's 2 spells that just did not work out for them. Meantime, Fortune Soul and Asta are farming up a Storm, but and I still believe TNC has the better draft, but the way that things are happening for them, very tough right now.
Oh, SC taking a lot of punishment from Roche. The backline's here, Carlo. If you can get a really good shot off with the Bushwhack, yeah, catches onto 3 heroes. The Aegis is still on the deck. The Morphlin's going to be able to come in and steal it. And in fact, they get the kill into the Morphlin there as well, thanks to that Bushwhack coming through. And now Morphlin, he's going to take the Aegis. He's going to lose it straight away. Essie trying to do what he can, but they've taken away such a big objective here from the side of Neon. The Bushwhack comes out onto the Shadow Fiend now as well. They're going to be able to get the kill. Snowball, is it going to be off the backlines? Though Essie's trying to keep himself alive with the Soul Rips. There's going to be a skewer 4 as they get the kill onto Fortune Soul. They chase down, they get the kill onto Issa now as well. 3 heroes dead, a Roshan and an Aegis Stone. The TNC all of a sudden right back in this game.
Just when I want to go out, they pull me back in. TNC, what was looking like a series of unfortunate events, they're like, no, we were just warming up. And that was, it's all credit to Carlo, man. What was that? That was a 3-man Bushwhack followed by a 2-man Bushwhack. Gets the steal on Roshan itself. Very impressive play by them. And with this lead, it might not be even possible for Neon to win against this draft at a 4K disadvantage, just because their draft is it's better. It's just flat out. I feel like it's better. You get insane sustain. You got a lot of mobility. You got the team, same team fight with Magnus that pierces BKB. How does Neon even fight this?
Not for
with a stand-in, by the way.
Yeah, with a stand-in as well. So, but they need to give TNC a little bit of space. Asta with the double damage rune, as well as the bow for that extra attack range. So, if Asta wants to come in and fight onto this, speaking about fighting, there's going to be the Bushwhack coming on to Essie. Essie's going to be caught out now as well. The Sharpshooter, Carlo, immediately blows him up. He's got that Hunter's Mark coming through from the Boomerang, but there is going to be a snowball in. They get the kill onto the Invokers. They might be able to turn this one around. High ground, Mavis trying to do what he can with the Hand of God, but it's going to be any rotation in. Because you can see Magnus and Morphlin not super close onto this, so the Centaur's trying to do what they can with the Stomps. Even going to be the toss-in, but a really good 3-man RP into the Bushwhack. They're going to be able to clean it up. TNC, Fortune Soul just has to TP himself away.
Oh, it was looking so good for Neon, getting 2 kills, only losing the Undying, but again, the massive 3-man. Like, Magnus and Hoodwink is such a strong combo together because you naturally set up for the Bushwhack with your RP. And it's been working fantastically for the team. Another 1 fight for TNC. Looked like it was glimmers of hope for Neon.
Essie.
He left the base, didn't he?
Yeah, he had the audacity to think he could farm on his own half of the map.
Next to the tier 2 tower as well. These people. Well, Enchantress, she's going to go for the Dragon Glass. She is pulling out insane amounts of damage. Enryu is doing a great job when it comes to dealing damage, but unfortunately, he needs people to stay alive long enough for him to actually get some hurt out. And Essie's dying pretty fast in these fights. Same thing with the Tusk. Pretty tough for them. Alright, mid lane. Will we see a Brumble here? By the way, no ulti on that dying, which is not something we see very often.
Yeah, no flash golem. So he's just prioritizing the Soul Rip to keep his teammates alive, it looks like.
Yeah, but without the flash golem, he really loses a lot of the durability. 40% extra strength it's a lot of health.
He does pick it up. Level 8, he picks it up.
Oh, much needed. And looks like the Aghanim Scepter is finished up on the Morphling, so you can steal attack speed, SAS resistance, or spell amp, which depending on what you transform into. So it is pretty nice. And of course, you also just take stats. You get a bunch. You get 20% of the person's stats as well.
What do you want to be morphing into here? Do you want to be going in and getting the Tombstone from the Undying, or maybe taking the Impetus damage from the Enchantress? What is it that Asta? Who should he be targeting with this morph?
I think Undying is pretty good. I mean, you get a lot of value from both the Tombstone and the Decay, but then again, Tusk gives you mobility, which is something you always want on Morphling. And then, I think one of those 2 heroes might be good. Like I said, Enchantress, he also gets so much extra damage. There's no really bad option. I would say Shadow Fiend is kind of the least impressive, but all of them are pretty solid.
Henry just using that Tumbler's Toy to avoid the Bushwhack there as well. They're going to try and go in, but do they have enough to take? The Magnus is going to be silent, so they could turn this one around if they want to. Aghanim Scepter's up for Avatar mode now as well, so he does have the silence coming through on the Resonant Pulse.
He needs to always make sure he's on top of the Magnus. It's too scary. The RPs he's been able to get are just too impressive. It's a 5-man smoke. I don't think there are no wars to spot this either, but they also don't have vision on Neon's side to see them.
Oh, what's this going to go? They see the Anch. Is this going to be the skewer back? Yeah, the shockwave into the skewer back, into the MP, into the straight death. Enryu just gets absolutely blown up there.
That's your biggest damage dealer, him as well as Fortune Soul, and slowly TNC coming back in this game, going further and further ahead. And you can just put Asta in the front lines. Like, what are you gonna do? Are you really gonna kill him? He doesn't have the shard though, so 2,300 gold is a lot.
Well, they're going to get the dive in here now as well, Asta. But again, he's got the survivability. He's holding on to that morph. He's got the Manta style being held as well. Goes into, straight into the Undying. The Tombstone comes out. And this is going to make the push even stronger now. Because if you try and contest this as Neon, you're going to be pushing into a Tombstone that, the zombies will be running wild. You've still got the Tombstone here on SC as well if you need to use it. But it just makes the push that much more protected because it's another objective you have to deal with.
Yeah, and the 40% status resistance is also no joke, right? Like that's one of the things that you were kind of get worried about. You're like, what if you get chain stunned? You have the shard but you get 40% status resistance. Like, we don't even have that incredible stuff from the out to begin with. It's what snowball, walrus punch, pull. It's not bad, but reduce those by half. Oh, here we go, Asta.
He's gonna be able to get himself away. Has the arcane rune as well.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Feeling pretty good about himself. Meanwhile, TNC taking over the jungle. They already have the outpost. Chen, I think he's got the full Wraith Pact flying in for him. Which I don't like it on Enigma, but I definitely like it on the Chen.
No, I mean, Neon moving themselves around. It as 5. Oh, excuse me, it's 4 because they're going to get the catch out onto the Void Spirit on the bottom lane with this. Go to the Bushwhack, into the Sunstrike, into his straight death. Critch. Yeah, he didn't even really need the Sharpshooter. And again, this opens up. Where's the creep wave? The creep wave is coming in. So this is going to open up the tier 3 tower on the bottom lane. And Bok, look at this. He's made an amazing recovery. 3, 5, and 8. And he's, 4th on the net worth now as well. After being absolutely punished in that bottom lane by the Shadow Fiend, he's just made a great comeback.
He's also got the horn toss. Doesn't get it. Well, he was like, maybe I'll do my own true sight right here, but unfortunately, wasn't able to land. It's all right though. Tier 3 tower does fall. 10 seconds until Voice Spirit comes out. The glyph is used. What are they gonna do here on Neon? There's a D-rune top lane, but no one's gonna be able to go for it. Look at it! Look at the damage the enemy is doing. It's a lot. It barely tickles. Like that's insane. That's a 200 pure damage, and Asta's like, all right.
Yeah, and double damage rune in the river now as well. That's a fresh one with Roshan being at least 13 seconds away to the time this right.
Carlo, he spots it. I think he pings it out. You want to take it? Oh, he goes for it himself. Yeah, why not, right? The guy's just...
Do you have this observe ward? Oh no, they were smoked up on the side of Neon. I thought you saw them coming in. So it's like, I've just got to take it and get out. But it's going to be a long Roshan anyway. 2.5 minutes on that respawn.
In time, and TNC, they're happy to farm up, happy to get the next rounds of items. Morphling pretty close to that Scotty. Oh, here we go. Bok, will he fall?
Yeah, they do. They get the drag back in now as well. The tornado comes through. It doesn't actually connect the EMP, but he's going to be getting out on a little bit of life here, Bok. And now Asta, he's moved into the Tombstone now as well. Where's that waveform? He doesn't actually have the mana for it. Sunstrike won't connect onto SE, but he wants to carry on going here. There's going to be the blink forward as well into the Bushwhack. One more right-click. Carlo finishes the job.
Carl's doing an insane job setting up his own. I mean, easily. MVP, dude. That Fire Roche was the reason why TNC was able to go back in the game.
The RP, 3-man RP. Where's the Bushwhack to follow up from the skewer? Meteor's going to drop. They're going to make them all go extinct here now as well. Dissimulate comes out from the Void Spirit, but he's going to be slowed down. The Cold Stamp now as well. Tornado flies through. They've got it onto Fortune Soul. He's not able to get that ultimate off just yet. He will be thrown out now, so the fear's going to be there. They might be able to pick him onto the Invoker. The Invoker pops that BKB, but the right-click damage is going to be enough.
Oh, that was kind of a bit lucky for TNC in some ways. Oh, they're going to go for more here for Neon. They can get Carlo. This will be a big kill for them just because of how much damage that guy's going. And they're going to go for Bok as well. Gets the skewer. And does he have enough? Do we have a Astral Step? No, in 10 seconds. But Enryu is doing good damage here. Fortune Soul and Viz moving in. But in the end, Bok makes that alive. They were a bit lucky. That could have been a little bit worse for TNC because as Fortune Soul was getting his ultimate off, perfect ultimate, guess what? Tornado comes out, stops him. So it's not quite optimal, the second one, but it's enough for them to salvage the fight. I mean, still a 1 fight for TNC.
TNC, well, yeah, they force out 2 buybacks there right before the Roche is about to come back up, and by the time the 2 heroes that did go down come back up, it's still a 14k net worth lead for them. They've still got objectives to push onto, so they could, even if they get another catch, what's that, 30 seconds on Roche, if they get another catch onto the Tusk and the Enchantress, that's a free Roshan.
It's a huge opening for them for sure. And Enryu, where do we? Enryu's going to go for the BKB, but still needs some time. I mean, we need a chance to do some damage. Dusk has the Blink Dagger. I think we saw a decent save in that fight recently. Oh, Fortune Soul. Oh, he's in trouble.
They got the Bushwhack into the Sunstrike on now. The Sharpshooter comes through. Was that damage to skewer the Shockwave? And it connects on the Shockwave though. They get the kill. SE needs to move himself away. There's going to be the blink into the Walrus Punch, into that Snowball. A lot of damage. They take down Bok, but he's going to be able to turn it around immediately. Asta throws the spells right back in the Tusk's face, and that's, again, dead. 67 seconds. SE's going to try and TP himself out of this. Is there going to be no, there's not going to be a strike, so there's going to be Asta. Backlines, though, to get the kill onto Enryu. And look at this. 18k net worth lead, 4k above the Shadow Fiend. This is absolutely morphin time here, coming out for Asta.
No, that's not. Oh, hey, I want to see that movie just to see how bad it really is. Everyone's like, it's the worst movie you could ever watch. It's insanely bad. I'm like, maybe I want to watch. I want to see the train wreck. Speaking of train wrecks, though, TNC wrecking through Neon that fight. Very close. Fortune Soul, unfortunate. 1 second away from the Invis. 2 seconds away from the BKB. Like, just a tiny bit, he would have been able to survive in that. Now TNC. I said this before. When they were 4k ahead, it's going to be almost impossible for Neon to take the game away. And the graph kind of agrees with me. There's still 1% chance for Neon. I think that's about the percentage I have to give them. 1% seems pretty good. Pretty good for where I'm standing.
Yeah, it's not completely over, but the curtains are being drawn and they're ready to be dropped on this series here as TNC again forcing out another tier 2 tower, and they've exposed racks on the bottom lane. They can carry on pushing in, and they're just doing so much damage here in these fights. They've got the RP back up as well. If he gets a good jump in into the meteor that drops 3 meteors now. So
that seems a bit too much for a shard, if you ask me. But oh no, Avatar mode loses his life, deleted. But Asta's going in pretty deep himself.
I mean, the back lines are going to be able to catch out the Shadow Fiend as well as the Enchantress on this RP. They drag them back into it now as well. The BKB comes out from Enryu. Fortune Soul's going to be dropping it now as well. But again, the age is still there for Asta. And Asta, this isn't even his base, and he's diving tier 4s while the tier 3s, the rack still stands. GG's going to be called 18-30 here. Neon just could not get themselves back into this good start. But after the Morphling got ahead, just couldn't get themselves back into the game.
Yeah, it looked pretty decent in the laning stage, like Voice Spirit was doing pretty good in the mid lane. Bok was suffering for like TNC, but their draft is it's too good in this situation. Like Neon has to run through them. Their draft is not suited for if they fall behind, they're out for Neon basically. Undying is good in the laning stage, but that's about it. And Ryu needs to really be ahead in terms of enchants to make it worth it. Like what does Tusk with a Blink Dagger do? Nothing. You need to get the Aghanims or something like that. And Fortune Soul, he did as much as he could, but TNC on fire today with their drafting and the way they played. I mean, Morphling 2 games in a row. Don't let these guys play Morphling. Like, that's all you can say.
Yeah, it looked really good on that. But that is going to be it for the day, guys. It's going to be a full day of 2-0s going the way of Little Gun and Boom and TNC. And that wraps us up. But we are back for more Southeast Asian Dota tomorrow. There's going to be some American Dota coming up a little bit later on as well. So if you're craving more before TI, BTS have you covered. So in a couple more hours, there will be some NA Dota going on. But for now, that is going to wrap the day up for myself and Otomo. We'll be back with more Southeast Asian Dota tomorrow, and it's going to be another full day of Dota, so make sure you come back for that. We'll see you then. But for now, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.